Good evening and welcome to the nightcap. For this Wednesday night, we have Paratroopa1 and imasock in a 1-1 matchup in the Swiss round 3. I'm Fury SK, and joining me tonight, Shaddy. We have a couple different trolls that we've seen tonight. We've seen Keys, we've seen a billion Dig Doggers and another seed. Which one will it be this time?
Good question. We know one's coming. It's just, what's it going to be? My guess, I'm going, how about Recorder Lake?
I'm rooting for one of those weird seeds where the white sword item isn't required and is the block, just to see if it's kind of one of those where they start looking only for those blocks and all of a sudden find a last dungeon along the way. What in the world's going on?
Off we go. This is, I find the coast to be one of the worst start spots that we can get in this flag set.
Yep, second only to, in my opinion, the Dead Woods Dead End. Even though it has an open cave, it's kind of a lame spot to start.
Lucky for us, coast is one of the best spots while you're watching.
So we've seen both of these runners around the scene. Paratroopa, I think I remember her back in the 2017. I definitely played pickup races with Paratroopa. I know that much. Sock is a funny guy to be around. He gets pretty wound up in these seeds sometimes. So we've played a couple of pickup races there as well, and I've watched some of the streams, and always a fun time.
Yep, the tournament brings out all the players, which is always fun. Oh, what a gamble. Big money for imasock. Well done.
Yeah, there's a big negative there. We'll see if Sock decides to go back there and do that again, but we'll take the winnings for sure.
Team middle all day.
Paratroopa looking for the Armos item up in the grave. Won't work out for her yet, but we'll eliminate some levels at least. Guess what, 8 and 5 up in the grave?
Yeah, I mean, 8 is not what you're looking for. imasock finds 7 first. Also not what you're looking for. Maybe peek a few rooms and get out.
So for those of you joining for the first time this tournament, we have a few flags that are a bit interesting that are beyond perhaps the base consternation flag set. It's community hits. There will be an overworld block of some sort, whether it be the white sword item or one of the levels. There's a bunch of extra bosses that are going to be around as well. And the wood sword can be blocked by the Armos item, so if the Armos item is kind of like a red candle or any one of power bracelet, flute, or raft, it can house the item. And speaking of the raft, I think imasock just found the raft at the deadliest of the Armos screens, the Blue Ring shop.
Yeah, pretty good grab. It was looking pretty busy up there.
Yep, find the enemy that gives you the least damage on the bop and try and invincibility your frame through it. Tried to get to that level 4 raft spot, but the blue dark nuts are trying to prevent the back and forth on the raft.
Be interesting to see when he gets back to check that. Death kind of kicking him off to the east here.
Paratroopa has the early blue candle, so that will help with some of the dungeon rooms, and we see the wood sword is on the coast cave, so we'll get that and get knowledge of the coast item. Looks like it's a candle upgrade to me.
Sometimes you take a death and it helps you out. In this instance, routing imasock kind of back to the east, gets the sword, moves on.
So Paratroopa gets there. The answer is yes. I think she'll do the same general pattern as Sock. Try to get down that raft tile. We'll see if it's survivable on that side of the screen. It wasn't for Sock.
We are finding a lot of the big levels early here.
That shoot room gives you a little bit of knowledge that there's going to be spots to this side, and I feel like a lot of the times the shoot will lead you across into another potential room. So if we get a bomb, we might check that, or we might be able to get around it all together. Nope, not quite.
It'd be interesting to see if she clears out that Hectite room with the candle or not. Would not be a bad gamble early on.
I would think so.
Meanwhile, imasock into level 2. Levels are they're coming fast here.
Yep, if you can find First Quest 2, you can find this Seeds level 2.
Oh, look at this. Able to get through the Tektite room. Finds the power bracelet nice and early.
Yep. That's more than enough for level 7 for now for Paratroopa. She'll take the prize of the item and come back later when there's more combat at hand.
So she already has raft and bracelet, which is just so nice to get early, as you can route in those spots kind of as you go.
This level 2 has some Lionels, as well as some Tektites, so a couple of the overworld enemies rolling down together. See the Dark Nuts on the overworld was the other one, probably Stalfos.
The good news is hopefully we get lots of blue Wizrobe rooms somewhere along the way here.
Yeah, I'm team Wizrobe roll up to the overworld. I'll take my chances getting around the overworld and getting into dungeons without him.
They're really not bad. It's a rough going at the start usually, but you know, a few minutes in, it's all set. Ooh,
Discount
$1 bombs. How about that? Love that.
I expect no complaints tonight on the bomb prices.
They keep telling me that $1 bombs exist, but I have yet to see them.
Is that up there with the non-14 heart mags?
Exactly. Or a sub 20 max. Another level. What are we doing?
Well, the dream of the white sword item being buried is still alive and well. We're about out of dungeons already.
It will be interesting if White Sword is required, because they are finding levels very fast. And then you're left with the dilemma of, well, do I go find the White Sword when I have 3/4 of the map left, or do I just start digging? And if White Sword's important, that'll slow you down.
Yeah, so we have 45 on the bait price. We have the 40 for the blue candle. We have 1 for bombs. Keys look about standard at 79, but everything else is super cheap. So even if the large secret out there is on the low end, it's not going to matter at all.
Paratroopa heading in the right direction here. She will get her sword pretty quickly, you would think.
You know, unfortunately, death there, but I think progression would go that way anyways, given that your start screen's down here.
Yeah, she might burn through the forest a little bit, but certainly she will work her way over there. There's another level. Unbelievable.
So what we got left? Like level 1, level 3?
Yeah, 1 and 3. Which is amazing, 10 minutes in.
It's a great room to get a clock in. And there's another boss, this time in the form of a Moldorm. To me, that's basically a free bomb pack in the making every time.
Interesting to see what Para decides to do when she sees the sword. She's already seen a lot of levels. So, do you keep digging, or do you go back and start attacking some of the levels you've seen?
I've kind of adopted the strategy that I think Sci-Town's adopted, where you go through the overworld, you see what all's available, you try and get all the information you can as to what's available. Unless you find level 1, which is readily
It's
available.
just amazing. So we are missing one level. 11 and a half minutes.
It was blocked, though. I think 1 is probably one of the only 2 dungeons I'll look at before kind of getting complete knowledge of the overworld and all the items.
Ooh, good candle there.
Very linear and flattened level 1.
I'm a sock in a gambling mood tonight. Love it.
That worked the first time.
Not exactly sure what he's trying to get money for, but do enjoy it.
Well, Patra guards our item in level 1. If Paratroopa can get over into that staircase, she'll have an item. I think the Patra knows, though.
Just so annoying. Just screaming at it to move left.
Yeah, you're gonna have to jump left right off the bat here, or you're gonna get killed. Yeah, can't go straight. Candle boost is probably best bet.
The only unfortunate thing is those snakes are gonna respawn, I believe. Or were they not in a required room?
Sock gambles and gets 57 again, gonna save. We're 2 more 57s away from a what is this game moment. Gambles and gets 57 again.
We're going to Vegas, baby.
It was for the blue ring, I'm pretty sure. And it's,
yeah, Sock
we're
must
there.
have seen blue ring in a shop somewhere.
Unfortunately, Paratroopa will not be able to advance too far to the west in this level 1 without some more combat.
Also unfortunate, just the heart in the basement. Exactly a exciting item early on.
If by some chance you run into the floor heart in here, if we haven't already though, it's 6 hearts, which would get you the white sword item. No bombs, so can't take out the main handler. This one does not seem too bad as far as keys go, though.
I would be shocked if she didn't just come right back up here after grabbing the sword on the coast here.
Rip the blue ring dream for imasock. Getting robbed of everything.
Consider me shocked. She's heading through the forest.
Well, I kind of get it. I mean, there's some checks you can do here, and you can kind of work your way back up into that raft spot here in a couple minutes.
Good choice by her. She'll find level 2, I'm sure. Be able to dig that out. Not sure why did not sure what blocks sock in there.
Might just be pirouetting. I think the lower door was blocked up by a key. It's a key for it. And a very useless bait block tonight, so may want to shed the bait. Unless you like, yeah, I was gonna say, go ahead and shed the bait now and not have it in your inventory. It frees up rotation on the select swap. Potential for blocked segment staircase in 2, so it won't be anything more than that. I believe the map is readily available. I don't think that was something we found, but it should be somewhere around here. Logic states that maps should be pretty easy to come by in the smaller dungeons at least. Should be available in an open room such as this. Get a little bit trolly in 7, 8, and 9. Mostly 9, but still haven't seen it too bad outside of some of the extra bosses blocking the way. Paratroop is happy to see that there was no segment staircase blocked by the Goma, so it's just a useless room. It seems like the staircase in 5 blocks 2 rooms.
5 is sneaky big. It doesn't look like a lot of rooms, but it feels a lot bigger, I think, than it is.
I think the combination of lack of bombs and a whole bunch of more or less stupidity of level 5 has pushed Shock away to level 8. Here wets the door down. Paratroopa picks up Architecture number 6. She's eligible for the White Sword item.
This is a nasty room that Sock is in. It's just a whole lot of blue-gurias. It's incredibly laggy, and they just never miss. And Sock said, you know what? I'll come back.
Yep, Sock has not seen level 1, has seen level 2 in the combat that's in there, and now has seen the bow, though Sock can't pick it up.
Oh, great find. I don't believe Paratroopa saw that.
Yep, she just had a candle, no bombs, no sword over in that region, so wasn't able to take care of that spot. Might troll her for a while, we'll see. 250 on that blue ring, though. Sock now has a candle.
That bomb spot can be kind of tricky to get back to, especially if you've been through there without bombs. The good thing for Paratroopa is she has the bracelet, so she has 2 checks over there now.
So the big question now is, where's level 3? Are we going to have it blocked? Is it going to be on Death Mountain? Where is it going to be?
imasock desperately trying to farm bombs, not aware that there's going to be a $1 bomb shop just sitting there for him in the deadwoods.
Looks like red potion's going to be a little bit expensive, but the trade-off is 2 blues. Comes across pretty cheap. See how long Paratroopa stays in this level 6. Kind of a larger dungeon, but as long as there's open doors, I think she stays there. Until she finds a lot of blue wizrobes or some terrible nonsense, I would think. So far, I haven't really seen the full-blown blue wizrobe rooms in here. A lot of hodgepodge rooms.
Yeah, that one room was a little odd. You had blue wizrobes and red gorillas mixed in together, dodging wizrobes and boomerangs. That makes for a fun time. Always love to see gels in a possible stair room. Fortunately, just another key. Para's starting to rack up the keys a little bit.
The one bonus that Sock has with the 3 hearts here is, as long as he doesn't get really trolled by the head that's floating around the room, he will be able to kill this Gleok thanks to the beam sword.
Well, the gel stair didn't push. Now we'll see if the wizrobe one does.
This is one of the few rooms I think is actually kind of easy to fight these guys in. Notice they're kind of get stuck easily on this long path. Yeah, we did get a forced bomb drop as well, so that's nice.
Sword upgrade for her troubles.
Yeah, again, we may see a bail here. It's kind of common so far in this tournament where we see runners kind of get their items, and if it's a big dungeon, they'll come back once they get more resources, as opposed to burning through them all just for the Triforce kit. She may have opted into a few more rooms, just to make sure it wasn't free, but I'm not sure how much exploration was really left anyways.
Did look like a reporter block kind of going up the column that she was in.
Looks like Sock's also kind of running out of open rooms on this side where the Triforce is on 4, so may have to go back in and try a different direction.
Oh, Paragon trolled at the top of the waterfall there a little bit.
Well, it's only bad if there's a level up there, and there's only one of those left, so could very well mean absolutely nothing, grand scheme of things, but will be on the back of her mind. Kind of an unfortunate large secret to get there, given that Paratroopa had quite a bit of money, but at least everything for the most part is rolled fairly cheap in the seed, except for the keys, which Paratroopa has 4 of.
I believe the blue ring was like one room above start. A little bit surprised they don't just grab it. It's usually a nice grab early. You know, sitting only one Triforce grab so far between the two players. Certainly helps with the dungeons. Well, she had another shot marked. Looks like she was beelining for it, where she checked the Armo spot and realized, hey, it's one down. imasock at it again. I love it. I would imagine imasock is going to do the same thing. We thought he was going to do it earlier. Maybe he didn't have a blue ring shot marked out. But maybe he's got one now. Win some money, grab a ring.
It's like a bunch of negative ones, a negative 30-something, a positive 20-something, a positive 57. So
I
there's
like
only,
those odds.
yeah, there's only one bad option, there's one okay positive option, and there's one great positive option.
All the minus ones is just, it's amazing.
One more 26 will get Sock very close. So we're going to save that, I guess. You can opt into going in there and hoping for the best again, or you can get 2 groupies on the overworld to complete your blue ring purchase. Paratroopa, unfortunately, taking a death to this Patra, which I think is locked off by that Lionel screen as well. The game is trying to get Sock to gamble some more now.
Just feeding the addiction.
Then tries to tempt Sock with bombs, although there's 8 in inventory. Fortunately, Paratroopa is just getting beat up by these Dark Nuts in the overworld and some of the underworld enemies in this seed. Hopefully she can get back to level 1, get the health refill, and maybe try to go west.
It's turning out to be a pretty interesting seed because all the levels were readily available, but all the levels look like they're pretty hard from a combat standpoint. Feels like it's one of these seeds where you leave a dungeon, you're like, well, I'll go find something easier to do, and all of a sudden you, you don't find that.
We found the Triforce. Now can we find the item without losing all of our resources, as Sock has evened up the ring purchases. Gonna laugh a little bit if the red ring's here in 1 over here in this corner.
That would never happen.
Well, it was red and circular, it just wasn't what I was hoping for. Yeah, Trails, she rolled out because there's a Lionel room that you have to combat through, the shutter in between, and then you fight the Patra. Magical
There
Boomerang.
you go.
I will definitely support the pickup, but probably not what Paratroopa was looking for. Would rather have had the red ring troll.
Boomerang and Ladder Heart. Not exactly what you're hoping for in level 1.
I would imagine if Paratroopa finds her way over to the grave bomb spot, she would be less disappointed by that heart in one.
I'm a soccer first runner up here in Death Mountain. Once again, we're just looking for level 3. Full hearts, Para's gonna try level 2 again. Smart choice, I would say.
With such cheap bombs, assuming Paratroopa's seen it by now, I think you just go ahead and burn through 1 or 2 in this room if you get them all grouped up. And conserve your health for the next room. Level 3 is now found, though, so every dungeon is now known across the 2 runners. They don't all have full knowledge, but combined they do.
Porter here in level 3. Kind of looks like second quest level 3 a little bit.
Looks like a banana man throwing his boomerang. Me a little bit. I don't think of some shenanigans there. TGE.
Porter, a great find in this flag set, not only for extra bosses, but getting around. We have seen more than our fair share of Dig Dogger blocks so far in the tournament. Actually appeared like there could be one in level 6, I believe. Para is working her way up the left column. I believe there was a Dig Dogger block up there.
Yeah, well, Paratroopa now has the item out of 2. Much better than the magic boomerang, probably. And a free try. The scan a room with the wall master, so gonna take that ladder and move on.
Just the red candle on the coast. Imagine she prioritizes that very much. But certainly nice to have in the levels. Nothing worse than running into a ladder block and having to double dip.
Yeah, I could make the argument that it's a little bit worth, given she doesn't know that bow's free. It is a little bit of an enhanced range combat until you have something better. Sock now has a reasonable shot again to go get that bow. I think he'll clear the rest of Death Mountain East and finish off Death Mountain total. Before going back, though.
Yeah, I'm a little unsure what Sock is missing.
1.
Oh, didn't see 1. Okay.
And any road was up at the White Sword Cave the Paratroopa died at, so not the worst. We're back to Candle Row. I think Sock's trying to do smaller levels and save all these larger levels for later. Won't pay off much in 1, will pay off a ton in 2. I say that, but I just talked about the heart container in 1 being a bit of an advantage, so I suppose until Sock can confirm that bow is at 6 hearts and not 5, still be useful.
Not only are the bombs $1, I believe we've seen about 3 or 4 bomb shops scattered around Hyrule tonight. Just a really nice option.
And with Sock's luck at the casino. I mean, basically have infinite money. That blue dark dot screen once again claiming a victim.
Your Socks 6 heart. He has the knowledge of the bow. I believe you're right. It looks like it's hard to tell, but it looks like both runners are kind of looking for that last spot. Paratroopa, I believe, is only missing 3 in the white sword. You know, Sock only missing level 1. So trying to hit the early dungeons, skipping everything else.
I was gonna say, Sock, you're being a bit silly here, in my opinion. Go get those wood arrows.
How is he ever going to afford such a thing?
With how much you gambled and won, go get those arrows. Don't let that troll you later.
Just make sure you don't get below 10 rupees.
Oh, I'll drop the bombs. I was fairly certain Sock had seen 2. So, may choose to go back there now. Nope. I think Sock's just having a bit of indecision as to where to route, just kind of looking at the map as he's walking, and now has realized, oh wait, I have this raft spot left to check, see what it's got.
I'll be quite happy. I believe that's complete knowledge for Sock. Now he's got to work his way through some of these dungeons. Good news for Para. She's up in Death Mountain.
Pretty sure Paratroopa had some keys when she was in here. I'm not sure if it's a positive key one or one of those key-starved ones. I think it was decent, though.
Paratroopa getting the good news that any road was on the screen that she died. That usually tends to stick in the back of my head until I get back there, so it's always nice to find it. Fortunately, the Any Roads kind of kicked Para out of Death Mountain. She'll have to route in the rest here before she heads back up there.
At least she can make the route through the Forgotten Spot back towards some of the grave. Might lead her to the bow first.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if she heads that way or heads up maybe towards East Death Mountain.
Sock is gonna walk into the blue boomerang room right now, burning. He's getting back down to 1 key, but still +1 for this dungeon as a whole.
Man, they must know you're on comms. Both runners picking up the magic boomerang. How about that?
There's one big reason to pick up either boomerang in this seed, I think, and it's the Lionels in the dungeon. If you get those guys all stunned up in a spot and bomb them, you can really take care of those rooms fast, as Paratroopa does route in the grave. So that's a complete grave now taken care of. I kind of expect Sock to progress towards level 2. Just because you've cleared 1, that's the next low dungeon nearby.
Oh wow, quick Triforce there. A little bit of a Y force, but level 8. I don't know. Take it and run.
As the chat says, why not force? Apparently, it's what you can call that, because it's a big dungeon. Why go back in there? It'd be different, I suppose, if there's more outstanding, but collectively we know it's basically silvers away from go mode for Paratroopa as long as there's no dig dogger blocks in dungeons.
Absolutely. Silvers and any key is a sneaky good item in this flag set, as we have seen as the tournament progresses.
And the downside for Paratroopa is she has no money. That means no wood arrows to be purchased, no gambling game to farm for more rupees and thus arrows. It looks like the expanding Patrope is dead, so we'll make this fight a little bit easier now.
Ooh, close call there. Good dodge.
Hopefully Sock does not get defeated by this Patra. We'll put Sock onto the ladder and the Triforce. Be able to get through it. He's getting trapped in this corner. Oof. Stabbed his way out of that, but unfortunately walked back in.
Patra. That Patra and 2 taking down everyone tonight.
Yeah. I guess the only saving grace to this is there's red Lionels in the screen before, so if you can get through that room on minimal damage taken and defeat all the Lionels to get to the next room, you should normally have a health drop out of it. Sock does take a bop, but again, already 3 hearts on the floor. So, 5 hearts this time. Paratroopa looking for that map of this 5, so she can figure out where she's going.
Which is incredibly helpful in this 5. This 5 is a disaster.
Don't see the orbit changing on this Patra, so I think Sock will be able to get this time and be rewarded within the next handful of seconds, I would think. Well, barring a troll. That's rough. Yeah. Let's go left. And there we go. Rupee Boss guards what's really important.
Much better the Rupee Boss than the Superman Handler.
Yep, gonna run away from the Superman Handler. Good move, as he's about to find out.
Oh, thank goodness I don't have to fight that guy. So, Sokko now, I wonder. maybe up to 7. It's right next door.
Hard to say. We're missing... From Sock's point of view, we're missing one overworld blocker and silvers as far as potential requirements. We know the power bracelet isn't really worth much, though, so I would think Sock's not that interested in finding the power bracelet anymore.
Yeah, I think Sock's got full knowledge here. Oh, know where Sock's going? Right up to the bow. That makes total sense. Go grab that before you dip anything. Absolutely.
Bow into level 8 into level 5.
That would make the most sense. Yeah, really good play here.
Well, this hasn't been the easiest of seeds, per se. The seed doesn't appear to be overly trolly thus far.
Yeah, certainly not trolly. But boy, the combat looks pretty difficult. Glad we're watching, so I'll say that much.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be determined by 2 or 3 different combat rooms in this seed at least. Looks like Sock is going to go back to 3 to try and clear out the Triforce.
This time, Para can keep her bombs, not get bopped around too much up here. She will find level 3 and really quickly here. A race in 3.
Yeah, she might have quite the advantage as well, given the key situation for Sock now is still about as unfavorable as it was before. Looks like we're gonna get the recorder now for Paratroopa, so we're even on items outside of Power Bracelet at this point, as I think Sock is... Well, I guess White Sword too, so small combat advantage as well.
Yeah, I mean, just more more nasty combat as we keep going here. Back-to-back Leok rooms required, shuttered door, only way up to the top here. Maybe this is where we'll see the White Sword really speed Para along a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit interested as to why. I guess maybe looking for a free key beyond. I'm not sure why Sock's going up a little bit further. He does have his recorder from this dungeon.
If Sock remembers he has the recorder from this dungeon. I have a feeling Sock is going to get to the end of this dungeon and be very confused.
Well, either that or we'll hit him like a ton of bricks. Be like, oh, dumb. I cannot say how many times that's happened.
endless. Whether it's
Dozens
the
of
item or you go back to dig the item, totally forgetting you have the Triforce. Then you get the compass deep into a level, and you're like, oh yeah, I already got that like 20 minutes ago.
At least Sock has gained a few keys out of this, but that's probably going to be a small consolation. Now that he's up 8 and gone back to start, may opt into pushing that double block room that housed the recorder, and if that happens, then we'll at least know. Although it seems like Sock is suddenly on a mission to get back to the Triforce, so perhaps it's realized. Paratroopa, meanwhile, is in level 6. This is where the white sword was. I believe she skipped this room the first time around and was hoping it was a map, but it's just a pack of bombs, as imasock now is out of 3. And we're tied up again on Triforce count. It's a rather interesting shape for 6.
The old stairs.
Little hidden compartment in the staircase.
That's where the silvers are hidden.
Oh hey, there's a nice blue wizard room that I was asking for earlier.
Yeah, I mean, we just really have not seen the combat let up in the seed.
This is the first time, at least for this sort of wizrobe setup, that I've seen. We've had a lot of the rooms where there's a couple, but that was the first one we got that was fully just nope. I was gonna say, we have the Digdar, we have a blue boomerang. This is the ideal moment to bring that out, and there we go. Both runners making good use of the boomerang. Good for the mini Digdars and the Lionels.
It looks like Sock took a little bit different path in this 8. Paratroopa saw about 2 rooms. It'll be interesting to see. We know the Triforce is back at the beginning, so I would imagine he runs into the items here at some point.
I've seen worse 8s than this. Also seen better. Lots of Gomas in here. Paratroopa is still just looking for the Triforce out of 6. She's trying to Triforce go some of these some of these dungeons she's had items out of. Actually, looking at this 8, it looks more like it's close to 38 rooms, so it's actually kind of a big 8, just kind of deceptive, I guess, because it's condensed and not spread across all the columns.
Not a million different segments. Sock trying to clear the rooms. It's the worst when you come back in. It's the blue wizrobe still in there. Loading up on keys here in 8, that's for sure.
Paratroopa was hoping the Digdogger was blocking the Triforce, but fortunately just guarding a triple bar room that you're locked into, so it's nothing.
Yeah, unfortunately for her, seeing an awful lot of the 6. Just more combat everywhere. Just bosses and whiz robes in every room. This is something. These runners are gonna earn it tonight, that's for sure.
You know, can't have it all for free. You have a lot of shops rolling real cheap. Gotta have something trolly.
Yeah, and to be honest, so far, I mean, they're both playing like really well. Combat has been difficult. You know, we've seen a few deaths here and there to be expected, but on the whole, really kind of making quick work of a lot of these rooms.
Got 2 rooms left of the left side of 6. We have a bomb upgrade in level 8. We'll see if Sock goes back and gambles and comes back later.
Sure, he's upset that he didn't on the way in.
I was really hoping that'd be the second bomb upgrade, and we'd really see him go gamble, get to 255, and try and get them both with a little bit of rupee luck in 8.
Was the Triforce in that first Bluegaria room?
Pretty sure.
If he skipped it on the way in, or if he's digging on purpose, I don't see.
I think just skipping it on purpose because it was a death early on, I think, for both runners. And I like what I see in this 6. I approve. Is that... Well, no, actually I think it's one off. I thought it was that blue Wizrobe room.
Looks like it was in one room that she just went all around and didn't see.
She didn't use the key in the room right there, and then that's one of 2 rooms, I think, missing. So, we'll see if she can get around that key block. Oh, it's past this room. Brilliant.
Unbelievable.
I think if we die, we'll be using that key.
That
hardest bait.
So fast.
We got the heart, but we're back down again. Looks like Sock may have gotten to an item staircase here in 8. Nope.
Of course not. Keep the combat coming.
And we're in a right-hand staircase room. It's basically segmented from the rest of 8. So, that's a thing.
That's an amazing stair right there. With all those rooms, that's the room it goes to.
But it had something very nice. It had a compass. And looks like Paratroopa1 decided she's had enough of the blue Wizrobe room and's gone around with the key. And it worked out a lot better.
The problem for Sock is he's already done so many rooms in here that, you know, he's pot committed. You gotta find these items.
It's only a problem until it's something like Silver's wand, book, any key, any of those can really potentially be useful. May not always be what you want in some of those, but we'll take them.
Yeah, absolutely. It's gonna be super interesting to see what he finds in here. I mean, like we said, Parrot had one room and 8. There's no way she's coming back here anytime soon.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the worst combo. I guess the worst combo in this 8 would be regular boomerang, obviously, and then maybe red ring would be the second worst. Any key at this point's not great, but you're still on 7. You never know what 9's going to do.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I'm just looking at what's left.
Well, here comes an item. We'll see if it's trolly. Red rings. So we got half the equation I thought of first. I still don't think that's that bad.
Nobody says no to red ring, that's for sure.
Looks like that's enough for Sock, although the bomb wall has suction on it, so if you go back towards it, you're gone.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised here. Be interesting to ask him after the race what his thought process was leaving one item in here.
I'm not totally shocked by the room location that we up-8'd from, because it was kind of off on its own in the top left, but I don't... I'm gonna guess there's probably something like 8 or 9 rooms left in this entire dungeon.
He saw a lot of the bottom. I think maybe like the upper right.
Maybe in an hour just feeling a bit of a time crunch, I guess would be the most likely answer.
Yeah, I would agree.
Book in level 5.
Level 5 is not the answer.
So the answer is level 4, level 8, or level 9. Question in chat, do you think these two are starting to feel a little bit of the pressure? I always get a little bit concerned at the hour mark, personally, about where I stand. Unless I've just, like, right ordered the living daylights out of the seed and it's just a bit trolly. I don't think either runner would say that they've right ordered completely in this.
Yeah, I agree. Usually you see the clock roll over at an hour, you kind of look down, see where you're at. 5 Triforces at an hour. You know, I feel like that's the middle ground, right? Like it's like it's not awful, but you know, it's not great.
Kind of thinking Sock missed a way into the right 2 rooms as the staircase takes you over towards the Triforce. Which looks like we do have a Patra on defense.
It's just amazing. Another block, another combat block here. Tara really wishes she could get inside that reverse C and just Patra's just not letting her in.
Alright, so what's going to guard the Triforce? Not a lot.
The easiest room we've seen in 15 minutes here.
Very quickly, Sock is double digits in keys, having been at 0 and 1 not too long ago. So Paratroopa is out to a small Triforce lead at the moment. I would definitely put her in the driver's seat for now, but it's hard to say how long it will last, given that there's quite a bit left to be played. Is it double Patra to get over there?
Oh man, yeah, it could be.
We can't bomb into Zelda's, or not Zelda, Triforce's room. We can't bomb down from the bait block. Sock tried that earlier.
It's a funny looking level 7 map.
Yep, looks like 32 rooms to go with the 38 in level 8. So when we get to level 9, we're looking at something that's probably 6 columns with maybe 1 or 2 rooms left in the 7th column. It's not going to be all that big, in my opinion.
Sometimes these condensed dungeons can be a little bit harder, depending where the Triforce is. It's very easy to miss. Rather, if something's linear, it might take a little longer, but you're guaranteed not to miss anything.
Sock has got this Petra in a weird sort of lock, but it's gonna work out just fine. So that takes care of all the boss blocks guarding the Triforce.
Sock's gotta be careful here. Took a bop there. He's happy he picked up the red ring.
Without the red ring, Sock is dead there. And while you don't want to lose all your resources in the bomb column,
Yeah.
I don't disagree given that the bombs are 1 rupee and it's a whole lot of lost satisfaction if you're dead in the Triforce room to a Fire or something of the sort.
Absolutely, whatever it takes to get that Triforce and get out of there. So now we'll see Sock wrap and go into 7. This could come down to a battle of the 7. Be interesting to see if Sock kind of follows Para or kind of works his way down the right side. Oh, Troldongo. You gotta be kidding me. The worst.
I'm pretty sure there's a bomb shop at level 3, so it's not a huge hike to go get bombs if we need them.
Kind of interesting, because it will push him to the right, almost, with no bombs.
Yep. This item's not very worthwhile at this point, but could lead to money. Speaking of bomb troubles, I noted that Paratroopa is now out of level 7. She has a whopping 0 as well. So both runners may end up going down and buying single rupee X bombs.
Lionel's not doing Sock any favors. Stuck by the chute, I would imagine. Probably pretty close to her footsteps here, running down there. Maybe just moving on to 6 and coming back.
Paratroopa has decided she'll take her bombs and go to 4, which is the other Triforce needed. Be interested to see if she decides for the dig in 4. It's not that big a dungeon. Potion also useful. Yep. All of 20 rooms, so it's a good deal smaller.
Yeah, Para, either by accident or on purpose, but she has routed it quite well with, needing 4 and 7. They're both down here. There's a bomb shop in the middle. Sock's got to dig this out and then work his way all the way back up to 6. He's up at Vanilla 5. A little bit of a hike up there.
looks like these Patrobes on the expanding Patro are not that bad. Like Sock really was taking quick work of them with just a wood sword. And Y-forced.
It'll be interesting to see what she does now. Just totally get bopped into that Triforce. It looked like she was planning on digging. At least the room's past the Triforce. So let's see what she does here. Nope, she's right back in.
Hey, off to bomb down now? Yeah. Ooh, this would be interesting. Not sure if Sock was down here earlier. Probably was, but I don't remember. Seen enough Dig Doggers killed at this point that I don't remember it at all. Let's see what we got.
Oh, there's another one. It feels like it's all bosses, not even just extra bosses.
Yep.
Nothing but Patras, Dig Doggers, and Gleeoks. Gomas, we've seen a ton of Gomas. This is very interesting. There's another one in a shutter door, just blocking the way. That's the other interesting part. I mean, there's been so many shutters in these boss rooms that they've all been required. It's like Para's getting the bad news that maybe the stair is in the rooms where she was headed before she got bopped into the Triforce. Ooh, here's a stair for Sock 7. Not sure if we've seen this yet. Oh no, we have. There's the Triforce. Sock picking it up. Still a ton of rooms on the bottom of that 7. If he was feeling behind in 8, he is certainly feeling behind now. So you would imagine he grabs this and beelines up to 6 immediately. Meanwhile, Para is really close to finding an item here. Can't possibly have that many rooms left. Looks like, unfortunately, it looks like Para's gonna last room this staircase. Why not? To the surprise of no one, I believe that is a boss blocked room in the upper left there. Oh, no, she had one here. Let's see what's in here. Nope. This seat's amazing. This is great. Oh, interesting. So I'm not sure why she left there. I believe she doesn't have wood arrows. Oh no. I didn't even know she didn't have wood arrows, thanks to chat. appreciate the help. Meanwhile, Sock working his way up through the 6. He's going to see this Wizrobe room. We know the Triforce is to the right, but there's no way he's going to clear that. So we'll see how lost he gets in here. Boy, with all the Gomas we've seen, I don't know how I missed the fact that Para didn't have wood arrows. I don't remember if there were Gomas on the way down to this Triforce. Meanwhile, Sock getting his white sword, finally. Para, of course, was able to pick hers up quite early. Unfortunately, imasock taking a death there to the Dig Dogger. It's just, it's rough. This is rough. It's a rough seed combat-wise. See if it. I don't know if you could get into that Triforce room from underneath, like through this key room, I believe, and then up. Hopefully, this will. imasock happy to see the Triforce. Has skipped lots of items. He did get the white sword in here. But we've seen from Sock, I would imagine he beelines to 9. Figure out the best way to get over there. Hoping to find some bombs before he makes his way. This should be interesting. We still have, a few items out there. We have an item in 4 we haven't seen. We never saw the second item in 8. And now we'll have the 2 items in 9. Get your guesses in chat where you think the silvers are tonight. My guess is wherever they are, blocked by a lot of bosses. Get our first look at level 9 here. Relatively small. Missing almost entirely the right 2 columns, minus a couple troll rooms. Stair number 1, and off we go into level 9. Sock, out of bombs, was not able to find a bomb shop on his way up here. There were quite a few in the overworld, but I don't believe there were any in this general area. I know there were some near Vanilla Start. There's one over Vanilla 3. Sock finding a single shutter door in this room. Pops open. Keeps on moving. Meanwhile, Paratroopa moving towards the Triforce here. She'll be happy to be out of the 7. And I would imagine she goes straight to level 9 as well, so... So, Para missed both items in 8. She missed an item in 4. Meanwhile, Sock missed 4 and only 1 item in 8. Another Dig Dogger. Haven't seen too many of those tonight. Isn't a single shutter door, so Sock will clear it out. See if the girl is here. Para into 9 will be able to listen for the roar. Para able to enter here with bombs. See if it helps her out. Might get her. So Sock took this staircase pretty early, but with no bombs. So should get Para into a different part of the dungeon that we haven't seen yet. Straight into a super manhandler room with a shutter door. That's crazy. There's another shutter door blocked by Dig Dogger. Oh, Sock picked up the compass. I missed that. Didn't see which room the compass was in. It's a really nice find. Meanwhile, Para finds the girl on her own, so she doesn't need the compass. She's got the path. This is a great race. This is it's gonna be really interesting, and this is gonna be about this push block on Sock screen. I'm not sure what the heck happened there. These item rooms, hard to find. I feel like we haven't seen too many stairs yet. Only a couple sets, maybe 2 or 3. Sock finds a new one here next to Zelda. Just a passage. Another passage for Sock. Bunny stuck in the wall here. It's always fun. Is rewarded with bombs at least. Oh, and Sock has found Ganon up in this one-off room here in the corner. He's gonna have to turn around. There's nowhere else to go here. Cannot bomb out. Can bomb out of that stair room at least. Possibly... No, you can't. So that's a magic stair to Ganon. Seems appropriate for this seed. Unless you can somehow kind of work your way into the back there. There was a door off the back, so it might be possible to get up the dash column. As a matter of fact, Sock has found his way up the dash column here. Into more stairs. Our first item is the wand. Mystery. The mystery grows. Paratroopa has found her way to Ganon. So now both runners have Ganon and Zelda marked. Sock a little bit in the lead. Having one item out of here. Let's see if the second item's in this. Oh, no. You can't get into that room. Hopefully someone takes that stair and is immediately disappointed. Para, kind of following in Sock's footstep. She'll be right into the wand here. Yeah, question in chat. The silvers, we have one item left in 9, we have one item left in 8, and we have the item left in 4. Those are the possibilities. Both runners starting to have pretty good coverage of this 9 where it's so small. Oh, and Paratroopa with the silvers find. That puts her in the driver's seat. That was a bomb wall down in a room that Sock was in. He's going to be beside himself when he finds out where they are. She's got the path to both Ganon and the girl. Para out of bombs. I don't know if that was her last bomb, the bomb down there, but just a great decision. Para makes quick work of Ganon. Just has to find her way back to Zelda. I'm a little surprised we didn't get the circle moat room in the seed with all the combat we've got. Para just a few rooms away now. Sock is gonna leave to get bombs, but a little too late. Of course, gets the bomb drop as he's going off the screen. Meanwhile, Para's walking into the girls' room, and we'll take the victory tonight. Get your GGs in chat for Paratroopa. Official race time of 1:30:36. imasock says, "Thank you, I've had enough," and bows out. Great race tonight, just fantastic. Just really close start to finish. Just really strong combat tonight by both these runners. Get your GGs in chat for Sock as well. Put on a really good show. Welcome on in.
Hey.
What do you think about that? Easy.
That was a disaster.
It was quite a seed. What were your thoughts on it before I started asking some questions?
Well, the first thing was I forgot that I picked up the recorder in 3, so I was digging for what seemed like 2 or 3 minutes when I didn't need to. And as soon as I realized it, I was like, oh my gosh, you gotta be kidding me. And then the thought crossed my mind, hey, maybe I should go get bombs before I walk into 9. Nah, I'll be fine. I'll figure it out. And then I have a feeling that was what cost me, because my tracking in 9 also got messed up. I don't know how I got onto the wrong row or column, and so after a while I just kind of stopped tracking it, and I think that's what caused my my mistakes there.
Well, I'm about to have some really bad news for you, but first of all, GG's to Paratroopa. She joins us now.
That was a tough one. I felt like I had to do a lot of digging in this seed. But I had enough things work out that it ended up okay.
It was an interesting seed where, you both found so many levels so early, and then the combat with like extra bosses. You guys rolled all bosses.
I think there were 3 Patras you had to fight, like that were required to fight, which is a lot of Patras. Like the 1 and 2 that guards the ladder, for instance, and the Triforce was. I was pretty happy to kill that one when I did, because I had an early white sword that'll bet that I'll bet Sock didn't have the white sword, because I got it in 6 for some reason. I had some early items that like didn't pay off that well, but the white sword was a pretty big deal, I think.
Yeah, you certainly were to white sword a lot earlier. Helping the combat through the seed.
Yeah, so I'm assuming the bad news is that silvers are in 9.
No, so it was really interesting to watch. Sock managed to get 1 item out of 8. What was your thought process on leaving 8 there?
I found the Triforce so quickly that I just figured that exploring 8, I didn't want to. I was worried it was going to be a really big 8.
Yeah, no, great play by you. Sock saw almost every room in there, found red ring, and then bounced. Any thoughts of full clearing that, Sock?
I was just trying to find the Triforce, really. That was the thing, I think, if I remember correctly. I don't even remember.
The compass was pretty late.
Yeah,
but the Triforce was like immediately in 8 for me.
Right. I walked in and tried to fight that room and then just left until later because I was like, I'm not going to bother with this. And then I had a feeling after about half of level 8 that that's probably where it was. But I was like, well, I've already invested this much time. I want to find at least 1 item. And
yeah,
so
that makes sense.
And then once I found Red Ring, I was like, all right, I'm out. I think I had, or I was close to the compass at that point, I think. I don't remember. The whole thing feels like a blur to me at this point.
Yeah, I had so little investment in 8 because I got so lucky with the try there. And I just decided, if I don't have a lot of investment in 6, 7, or 8, I won't look for the items there. I'll just go to 9, explore 9 if I need to. Like if I'm still looking for the bow or silver arrows, I'll just look around in 9 and, map it out. And then I can come back later.
Right.
But I actually, yeah, so I went to 9 without having the items in 8 or 4, which I think was bow blocked.
Yeah, you both
I
skipped the
didn't
item
have
in 4.
arrows. I didn't have arrows, and I didn't have the money to buy arrows, so I was really worried about that. But it worked out in the end because the silvers weren't there.
Yeah. So
So I just explored 9 and I found them.
Silvers ended up being in 9. Sock, you got into 9, a hair before Paratroopa probably. But they ended up being in the northeast. There was a stair, I believe it was right next to the wand, or maybe in the same room as the wand that bombed down.
Yeah, you bombed down from like 3 spaces down from where the wand is.
Yep, that would be about where my tracking got screwed up, and I had no bombs there, so...
I had tracking problems too in 9, and I don't know if... now that I've heard that you were having tracking problems too, I don't know what the problem is. Like, I got messed up on my columns for some reason. It didn't affect me in the end. Like, I didn't lose track of where I was, but I was like, what? I don't know what I'm doing wrong here.
Yeah, I had
that was really weird.
Pretty much the same issue. I don't know what happened. I think my row, my third from the bottom row got messed up.
Yes!
And
yeah, that's where I thought I messed up too.
All right, sweet. So it was just awful altogether.
Oh, whatever. I kind of had I kind of had 9 mapped out to islands anyway, so it didn't really matter too much. But I don't know. It whatever. I found so many stairs in 9 so early that I just decided to go keep looking for the item there, and I found it.
Oh man.
The problem was 9 was too small.
Yeah, it was a surprisingly
the
small.
Right side.
It was a small 9, surprisingly.
It's kind of
which
funny.
For the fact that 6 and 7 are huge.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's kind of funny because the smaller 9 is, the more I find that I make mistakes tracking it. Like when it's a big 8x8, I'm like, sweet, I can't go wrong.
Right. Yeah, I agree with you.
Well, you both played really well. I mean, the combat looked like a nightmare watching.
Yeah, this is a tough seed. Getting the blue ring and white sword early on really helped. Especially since like the wand and the red ring were both really hard to find. I didn't find the wand till late, and I never found the red ring. I didn't find any key either, which was unfortunate. I was probably in 4, I'm assuming, maybe 8.
Which dungeon was that? I think it was dungeon 5. Was it 5? I don't know. There was one dungeon that had 3 Dodongos just immediately to the left of the
That's
intro.
7.
Okay, that was 7. Yeah, I had 1 bomb, and I was like, all right, let's do this. And promptly, like, at the last moment, the Dodongo turned away, and I was like, forget this.
Guess you did the same thing. That's me. I also wasted a single bomb there. 7 was tough for me because I explored 7 and I couldn't find. There's one corridor that led south. It took me forever to find it. I think the first time I went through there, I had no bombs, and then I came back and forgot I hadn't bombed it yet. So I ended up finding a Patra, thinking that maybe the stairs would lead to the southern half, but that wasn't it. It was just a bomb corridor you had to find, and I found it eventually.
Yeah.
I dug the power bracelet out of there really early, but that didn't lead to anything other than Overworld Heart, which I guess is nice, but
yeah,
that's unfortunate.
It was interesting. It looked like both of you were kind of running around looking for something easier to do. And you just never found it.
No, there really wasn't anything easy to do.
Yeah,
and all the items in this seed were just not in the easiest locations, so there wasn't really a lot.
No, as soon as I realized that I was going to have to fight that Patra in 2, I immediately went back to start and started gambling for money to go buy the blue ring because I was like, this is nonsense. I'm done with this.
Yeah, I found the big secrets, so that gave me blue ring probably a little bit earlier, which is nice. I was so lucky to dig out that white sword from that blue wizard room in 6 early on. I just decided to go for it and I got it. I got really lucky.
No, that was probably super awesome. It feels good when you get something like that early on, either white sword or
really
wand.
Yeah, it really does.
The wand I don't think would have been quite as helpful in this one having it early because the dark nuts were on the overworld and
the white sword was helpful for wizard combat. Yeah, there weren't too many wizards in this seed, but they were in 6 at least. They're probably in 8 too. I'm assuming.
I believe so. Yes.
I didn't see any other wizards in any of the other dungeons. I don't think, but there were lots of them in 6. So.
Well, we thoroughly enjoyed the gambling, so thank you, Sock.
Oh, nice. I felt like I
was
did yeah,
There's a
I
lot.
did the same thing I did in my I think it was the last seed that I played, was find the gamble, walk out, but then decide, you know what? Screw it. It's in the beginning of the game. We can do this. And walked right back in, and then first gamble won 57 rupees and walked out feeling proud, like, all right, it's time to go buy my candle again.
Nice.
The numbers were great. Looked like there were a couple only -1s in there.
Yeah, as soon as I
and
saw
then
the double -1,
it was
I
almost
like,
a guaranteed win almost every time.
yeah, exactly. Other than just a time loss if you hit the -1.
And I don't know how you guys roll $1 bombs. Just teach me.
Oh,
please.
that was fun. That was awesome.
I felt like it took forever to find a bomb shop, though. I felt like I was wandering around forever before I found one.
Yeah, I think, it was interesting. Sock dug 8, but was certainly quicker in 6 and 7. Paratroopa, you got stuck in, like you said, you got stuck in 7 for a little
Both
bit.
6 and 7 and 5.
6, you went right around that Triforce.
Yeah. All took me so long. Yeah, frustrating.
And then it just ended up, I mean, you both were into 9 pretty close, certainly within a minute or two. And we didn't know if silvers were going to be in there. Even watching, there were still so many outstanding items. Just a great race. And a really good, showing. Really good showing on combat from both of you. I mean, it's really well done.
Yeah.
So with that, any last words?
Nope, I think I'm good. GG, Para.
Yeah, GG. That was a really fun one. Even though it was a really, really hard seed, I had a lot of fun.
Too many bosses. Too many bosses.
All the bosses.
I'm pretty sure I killed like 6 or 7 Patras. Like, it was terrible. Some with like half a heart left, too.
We must have seen about 50 Dig Doggers, it feels like.
Oh, man. Those two, for sure. Well, thank you both for comms and for tracking on TAH's side, and for the time on SG. Really appreciate it. Everyone putting this on. It's good stuff.
Yeah, gotta thank Shaddy for the hard carry there at the end.
Well, GG's to both the runners. Sock, you'll go to 1 and 2. Paratroopa, you'll be in 2 and 1. I feel like at this stage in the tournament, there's no easy groups anymore. So best of luck to you guys next week.
Yep.
Thanks to Fury and SpeedGaming. Of course, TAH in the background doing the tracking for us. Thanks to chat for hanging out late night. Fury, any last words?
Grumble ISP, but no, it was a great race. Got to catch the rest of it on the phone connection, so looked like it was entertaining up until the very last moment where we got the silvers and everything.
Yeah, fantastic race. There have been so many fantastic races so far, and we're just starting this tournament. We got a ways to go. So if you like Zelda 1 randomizer action, please stay tuned to SpeedGaming. SpeedGaming 1 through 1,000,000. We've got races going pretty much every night. And on that note, thanks again to the runners, GG's to Paratroopa, and everyone have a good night.